Star Wars is full of strange and diverse species, and as a result, strange Jedi. The second Jedi we're ever even introduced to, Master Yoda, makes both the audience and Luke Skywalker reconsider what it means to be a Jedi at all, and the Jedi Council scenes in Episode 1 also include a plethora of odd-looking new Jedi Masters, like Yarael Poof, Yaddle, and Oppo Rancisis. A few weeks ago, I did a video talking about Beldorian, a Hutt Jedi, so today we're going to take a look at 5 of the strangest Jedi in Star Wars. First up, we have one of the more famous examples, Jedi Master Ood Bnar of the Neti species. The Neti were a tree-like species who could shapeshift and subsisted off of sunlight, first appearing in the Tales of the Jedi comics. Ood Bnar had originally joined the Jedi Order over 5,000 years before Yavin, and was involved in several notable wars and conflicts, including the fight against Sith Lord Exar Kun. He was immensely powerful in the Force, and proficient though not amazing with the lightsaber, being a tree. In order to block Kun's entry from a Jedi enclave and hidden cache of lightsabers on the planet Ossus, he grew out into a massive, immovable tree, how he remained for millennia, through the devastation of Ossus itself, the Clone Wars, and the fall of the Jedi Order, until the return of Emperor Palpatine in Dark Empire. Luke Skywalker had learned of Ossus from a Jedi holocron, and traveled to the planet hoping for help or direction in rebuilding the Jedi Order. He was followed to the planet by dark side adepts named Cedric Cagalok and Vil Guar, among Palpatine's elite servants. Awakened by this nearby fighting, Master Bnar sacrificed himself to kill Cedric and prevent the Dark Jedi from harming either the new Jedi or the ancient Jedi relics, leaving behind a new sapling who would continue to get ignored by future Star Wars stories. There are other Neti Jedi we have heard of, including Tressa, who goes on to be on the Jedi Council in Luke's New Order, but she's usually portrayed as being a lot more humanoid, which is why I went with Ood instead of her. There's also a much more tree-like Jedi in the Young Jedi Knights books who may be a Neti, but which describes the act of a single lightsaber swing as requiring all of their stored up energy, so it's likely they're a different, possibly even more tree-like species. Secondly, we have another ancient Jedi of the Old Republic, and yes, this will be a common theme here, Master Gar Anstak from the RPG supplements Geonosis in the Outer Rim World and Nexus of Power, who serve primarily as an archivist on the aforementioned planet of Ossus, which will also be mentioned a lot in this video. Gar Anstak was a Myran, sharing a species with Bor Gullet from Rogue One. The Myran home planet was in the Hapes Consortium, and the common Jedi hatred of the Consortium extended within the Myran communities as well, leading the poor rubbery Gar Anstak to be shunned by his own kind. When the destruction of Ossus occurred, Anstak's archives, which had been established in underwater caverns because of his species' aquatic nature, initially protected him, though it did seal him in and lead to his eventual death. Third is yet another ancient Jedi Master of the Old Republic, Master Wilm Lywin of the Dwynogwyn, also known as the Star Dragons. His story is mostly found in the Most Dangerous Foe RPG short story, though the Dwynogwyn show up in many different sources. The Star Dragons were some of the earliest and most powerful inhabitants of the galaxy, though they were known to be personally quite good-natured, as Wilm himself was despite his fearsome form. War between them and the early Republic nearly destroyed it. Star Dragons were capable of flying through space without the need for a spaceship, so Master Lywin spent much of his time as an active Jedi Knight, following Praxium ships and providing escort as a living starfighter. Later in his life, he helped found the Academy on Teia 4, though he lived in the nearby mountains as he was too massive to actually fit in the Academy himself. Lywin was actively tutoring new students for generations after the death of his original co-founders of the Teia Academy. Fourth, we have, you guessed it, a Jedi of the Ancient Republic, originating in the Tales of the Jedi comics as well, and with additional mentions in sourcebooks and Old Republic novels, Jedi Master Ooroo. Ooroo was a Selegian, which were basically giant floating brains to whom oxygen was toxic, necessitating the use of chambers filled with their preferred cyanogen gas. Their homeworld, Selegia, was filled with seas of it, where the species typically swam. During the Great Hyperspace War, he punctured his own chamber using the gas to kill the Misasi warriors, which were overtaking his apprentice, Ood Bnar, soon dying from the oxygen exposure himself, though Ood Bnar went on to live another 1,000 years, and was responsible for establishing the Jedi Library on Ossus. Finally, we have Luxem, one of the Iron Knights. The Iron Knights were a group of shards, basically living rocks or crystals, given mobile exosuits and trained in the Force by Jedi Master Aquinos, who had been excommunicated from the Jedi Order for their creation about 50 to 60 years before the Battle of Yavin. This excommunication largely actually saved them from the horrors of the Clone Wars in Order 66. When discovered by the new Jedi Order of Luke Skywalker after decades in isolation, they were allowed to join and did so eagerly, including the still living Aquinos. Luxem, Aquinos, and the Iron Knights all fought in the Yuuzhan Vong War, where the destruction of Hosk Station drove Luxem to the dark side. From there, she began her own war against the Yuuzhan Vong, alongside other droid forces who the Yuuzhan Vong were predisposed to hating, including one of General Grievous's former bodyguards, IG-179. A special mention here has to go to Skippy the Jedi droid, which is from a story that's not canon to either continuity, where the R5 unit with the bad motivator in Episode 4 was retconned as being a Jedi droid, and the stories with the Iron Knights almost canonized it in a mission where the Iron Knights were going to be sent to find Skippy, though that never came to pass. I was originally hoping to get out the first Politics of Star Wars video this week, but it's taking a lot more editing than I thought, so hopefully it should still be out sometime in April, if not next week. Either way, hope you've enjoyed the video. If there's a Jedi you think should have cracked the top 5 here, let me know in the comments. There's definitely a lot of strange ones out there, so this could easily get a part 2. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.